Open conversation.
Welcome to another Open Conversation, a place where you get to talk with regular people about regular problems. No experts, just regular people. Today's topic will be, how thin is the line between love and hate? But before we jump into that, let's introduce you to the panel. Sitting next to me on the right, we have the funny one.
Me, I'm Philly's own, the Princess of Comedy, Miss Darkchild. I bring you the funny, from the top to the bottom. But I got the funny. I got the funny. Enough said.
I'm Mr. Marvin, the fast lane of home ownership. I bring a variety of various background that will add to this group here. Looking forward to talking with you.
And here we have what I used to think was the quiet one.
Hi, I'm Melissa. Thanks everyone for viewing Open Conversation.
We also have a guest with us today. He's an author, he's a filmmaker. I'm going to let him introduce himself to you. Mr.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Yusef Langston from Jalen Pictures. Like my man said, I'm an author and a local film producer with such great titles as The Sagittarian and The Father Figures, and look out for the movie Rain Dance coming soon. Thanks for having me on Open Conversation.
You're welcome. So, I want to throw this to our elder statesmen, Mr. Lane and Yusef. How thin do you believe this line is between love and hate?
Well, the line is very thin. When you're in love with somebody, it could turn to hate just like that. Mm-hmm. Being in a relationship with your spouse, significant other, they'll love you to death. Mm-hmm. But you make one mistake, you make one cross up, you go out there and mess around one time, and that love ain't gonna turn into dislike. That love gonna turn into hate.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. In terms of relationships, that's I think where that term kind of originated from, thin line between love and hate. You got to be careful. Like I said, it could be a very slippery slope. 1 minute they love you, everything is going good, but then when that hate starts to build, that's what you have to look out for. I think the main thing is you have to kind of look at the telltale signs of someone that you're with, that you're sharing your time with, your life with. And normally, when it's a situation like that,
right,
the hate kind of jumps out at you, or you're like, wow, where did this come from? But it's been building all along.
Right.
So you got to be careful, like I said, it comes from a lot of different reasons. Mistrust, misunderstanding, miscommunication, taking someone for granted, on either side, that's man or woman. And this hate will slowly build, and may start out, like he said, as dislike, mistrust, misunderstanding, then it's full-fledged on hate. And that's when you got a problem.
Wow.
See, I think it basically narrows down to the situation when you're in a situation, and it is, a lot of it's going to come from cheating. That thin line between love and hate is basically cheating. Nothing else aside from that really rocks that boat.
Right.
Okay, but do you think that within that relationship things happen to make one of the spouses want to go out and cheat? And then that love and hate then manifests itself?
Well, let's break it like this. The thin line between love and hate. In a relationship, things happen. Right. You get up in the morning, you ask your wife, honey, can you, I'm not feeling too well, can you bring me upstairs a cup of orange juice? She doesn't do it because she didn't hear you. That's not instantly hate. It's a progression of things and steps that you get to until it is a full-blown out hate. Now, the thin line is, it always to me goes back to infidelity in relationships. That's where I love you today, and I hate you tomorrow. Hate is a strong word. It's so many other things we can get through before you all out hate this person. Hate, y'all at least still have some type of respect for each other when y'all can sleep in the same house. Y'all can answer each other's phone calls. Hate, you don't even want to talk to them. You dropping the kids off at the mother-in-law house. She coming and picking them up. Y'all not seeing each other. That's hate. That comes from blown out cheating. You get caught with her best friend in your house. That goes from love to hate. That line ain't thin. It's direct. In relationships, I don't think there is a thin line between love and hate per se. Trust me.
What do you think, Melissa?
Well, I think it can come from more than just, like you said, infidelity.
Right.
I more so think about it like abuse. I think
Okay.
about, physical abuse, mental abuse. If someone's abusing drugs, even, it's like you can love that person. If someone's abusing you, people stay in relationships and are abused for years and years.
Right.
And I think it just builds up little by little, and eventually, they end up hating that person.
Right.
Yeah, because I've known a lot of people who have stayed in relationships with their husband or wife per se that were a drug addict, and they didn't want to leave. They thought they could help. You know what I mean? Until we just got to a point where it was like, they didn't drain my bank account. They didn't sold things in the house. I'm done. I can't do it no more. You know what I mean?
And that's that natural progression that she was talking about. It builds up over a period of time. Because like I said, you initially go into it, though, I love him to death. And I'm willing to go through anything. But when it keep on happening, and there's no, addressing it, you can't do nothing. You're a human being. It's a human emotion. Hate is a human emotion.
Right.
So it's going to manifest itself. And like she was saying, whatever, it's abuse, it's mistrust, it's misunderstanding, it's everything about this person, whatever, that will turn towards the hate. And once you reach hate, anything is possible. You see stories in the news all the time about somebody snapping and a wife killing her husband, or the husband killing a whole family because this woman said, I'm not going to take your abuse anymore. Either side, they've reached their boiling point.
Right.
So that's what needs to be addressed. How do you not reach that boiling point?
But you as an author and a director of films and authors, has any of your projects touched on that topic?
Yeah.
Share that a little bit with us.
Well, the movie that I did last year, Rain Dance,
Okay.
kind of spoke to that very same thing. The main character and her boyfriend was in a quoted committed relationship, but he was doing things to her, using her, in all different types of ways. It got so bad to the point where she reached her breaking point. She tried drugs because that was the world that they was in. She did some things that she would never have done, until she reached her breaking point where she said, "This man means me no good,
Right.
and I have to escape that. I have to get away from this." And by him not understanding what he was doing and not caring what he was doing, when she started to do the things that she did, was like turn evidence on him or, reveal some of his shady dealings, he wanted to take her out.
So again, what's the name of this project?
Rain Dance.
Rain Dance. And is it out? Can our viewers tap into it?
It's in production. We're doing some post-production work on it, but it should be ready to go in the summer.
In the summer, okay. So what's the? Let's give the viewers some information in order to contact you, get your book, movie, the projects you're in, website information.
Well, you can check out all our products and all our books, whatever, on jalenpictures.com. We're in the process, like I said, of doing some other media things, whatever. So that's basically, you can go right there and find all our information at jalenpictures.com. And you'll see the books we're working on, the plays we're working on, and some of the short stories that we're working on.
So this topic today, a thin line between love and hate, it spawns to a variety of things.
Yeah.
In relationships, it has to do with our holidays, it has to do with just your general towards each other. Here we got our special guest today. He spoke on it. He's touched on it too in his books, through his plays and his movies and things of that nature. So what we try to do is keep the viewers, in touch with what we're talking about here. Today's topic is a thin line between love and hate. See across the bottom right there. That's our number. Email us, text us, join in this conversation. This is about you. This is what your viewers hit us up with and said, look, talk about thin line between love and hate. Y'all seen the movie. I seen the movie. I seen the movie.
Right.
That movie crazy. Whoever wrote that, I don't even remember who wrote that. That movie was crazy. It wasn't no thin line
Right.
between nothing and that. That was a thin line between pulling that trigger and not pulling that trigger.
Which one are you talking about?
Thin line between love and hate.
The one with Bobby Brown?
Yeah, it wasn't
Mark
Bobby Brown.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
Lawrence.
That was a good one.
That was a good movie.
That was
yeah.
good.
Now, do you think, if any of you, that hate is stronger than love?
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
He done threw us a
Yeah,
curveball.
he didn't do us.
Philly's out of there.
All right.
Wow.
You ain't this is why you know this is an open conversation.
Right.
This thing real. He done throw us a real curveball
Yeah,
up in here. We got to bring in the first line up for that.
Think about it. Both were actions.
Right.
Now, I can sit here and I can say, I love you.
Right.
Did anybody feel that?
No.
I believe hate is stronger than love.
Right.
Hate is definitely stronger than love because it takes a lot of effort
Right.
to keep hate going. Don't take a real. I mean, you can love somebody, but there's different types of love.
Right.
Right.
But when you hate somebody,
Right.
it takes a lot of effort to put hate into hating somebody or something.
Right.
You really have to. You focused on it. Your mind is every time I see you, I'm gonna do something to you.
Right.
Every time I think about you, I'm gonna do something to you. I'm gonna do something that's gonna affect you each and every time.
That's called obsession, folks.
But
You need help.
when I love you, oh, I love you, but
Right.
But is love buying me a teddy bear off of Erie Avenue?
absolutely.
Is love buying me going out of CVS and Rite Aid?
Absolutely.
Is love buying me some cards out the dollar store?
Right.
This
I
is
can
where the
send you
thin
a-
line between love and
I
hate.
can send you a hate you
Don't you
card.
buy me nothing for Valentine's Day. Off of no Broad and Erie, Broad and Allegheny, Broad and Patterson. Stay out of CVS. That's called obsession, folks.
But
You need help. And I don't want you outside buying your mother the leftover teddy bears from Valentine's Day off of Broad and Stanton. Then it will be a thin line between love and I always hated you.
Wow.
Not just hate, always hated you.
Your mother
You
gonna
understand?
hate you
Always.
today.
Go Macy's. Take your mother to Macy's. Take her to Penny's.
listen,
Buy her a washing machine.
some teddy bears.
Stink.
No, they don't.
They molded under
They
the bottom.
have sick. When you were 15, 16 years old, that teddy bear was cute.
It was.
Okay.
Now
So
I'm old.
why that teddy bear not cute today?
Because I'm 50. What I'm going to do with a teddy bear at? That's another show. That's another topic. What I'm going to do with a teddy bear.
Well, okay.
Google us. We're going to tell you what we do with teddy bears. That's another show. Now, I'm not doing nothing with that teddy bear.
She hates teddy bears. You know, I guess we can say that, right?
There, that's the thin line between loving a teddy bear and loving a teddy bear.
Wow. Oh man. I don't know. I think to go back to your point or whatever. I think I think hate is more destructive,
Right.
and hate, consumes your whole being. You know, you can say I love you for forever. You know what I mean? But see, that's where the confusion comes in that, because from a man's point of view, if we say I love you to a woman, she's going to interpret that totally differently.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But like that hate, is so destructive and it's so dark that once you get to that point, it's very, very hard to come back from it.
Right.
And you got to carry it all the way through. This is where you see the murder-suicide sometimes. Or this is where you see the whole family being wiped out. Because once you reach that hate, that apex, that dark place, for whatever reason that got you there,
Right.
yeah, you got something heavy on your hands. So love can be, we can play with that word. You can say that like you say, like you're breathing.
Right.
And some people interpret it differently than others. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to be careful when you throw that word around. But when you get to hate, now you're dealing with a real raw emotion.
Yeah.
And so,
I hate to get you
Killed.
killed,
yeah.
ran over by someone.
But love get your rent paid. Love get your back massage.
For a reason, though.
Love get your shoes the proper shoe size.
It's a reason.
Hate will get all your clothes burnt up.
True that.
We'll get your tires bust.
Right.
We'll get that little window in the back of your car broke. That's the most expensive window on your car, is that?
It is hard to replace.
Hate will make you lose a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Restraining order.
Hate will get you in jail.
Hate will send you to jail. Love will allow this man to leave the toilet seat up.
And you not
No.
complaining?
No.
No. I took it too far.
Yeah.
You was
I took it
out
too
there.
far.
You went there. Come on back now.
I really
You
did.
gotta come on back.
I'm sorry, y'all, because I took it too far.
You gotta come
Look,
back.
he got me reeling me in.
No,
I'm going in.
I do agree.
Going in.
Hate will make you burn up some clothes.
It will.
I know I'm throwing clothes in the tub. I'm like, okay. I
Okay.
burn them up.
Oh, you had one of them exhale moments,
Yeah,
huh?
Right, yes.
Yeah, hate make you do
Pretty
some
much.
stuff.
You want to
Hate make you go in that man
Everything
phone.
I bought you goes
Take
in
his
the tub.
money out the
It's
wall.
on blaze.
I ain't burning up my tub. All right, well, we had a good
That
discussion
wasn't my
today.
tub.
It wasn't your tub? He burning other people's house up. Open conversation, people. That's the number down the bottom. Email us, hit us up.
Wow.
We live, people. This is live. This is what we do. It's a
Well,
thin
I
line
put the
between
tools
us
in the
going to
tub.
jail and them going to
Set 'em
jail.
on
We ain't going to jail. We gonna wrap this up. This is our time. We
Big
appreciate
sister.
it.
I ain't
We
lying.
appreciate
It
it.
makes sense.
We appreciate y'all being here, don't we? We appreciate our audience. That's the number down at the bottom. You see it down at the bottom. Email us. Send us your questions, comments, concerns. Send us what you love. Send us what you hate. Just don't go to jail because of this show.
For sure.
We want to thank our special guest,
Yes.
For sure.
Mr. Yusuf, for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
And we're talking about how thin is this line between love and hate.
Open conversation.
Sadior photography company that offers modeling, weddings, family portraits, and much more. Indoors, outdoors, in the studio, or we'll come out to you. Just give us a call.
Look at yourself. You're breaking down. This is the way you want life to be. So take control. Don't lose your mind. Open your eyes, yeah. You gotta get back in line. Open conversation.
All right, so we're back. We're talking about how thin is this line between love and hate.
We ain't going nowhere.
We went on a commercial break.
You said we back like we went on a vacation or
Well,
something. You said it like
We took a break.
we back.
When you had to
We
fix
back.
your hair and drink a drink.
We back.
We back.
They're back.
We're
The
back.
makeup people didn't come in. I still look the same.
Yeah, well, you gotta pay.
Thin line between love and hate. See, this is what I love about this show and about the hate. I hate the fact that he said, we back, like we went somewhere. We ain't going nowhere. We didn't get up to the bathroom
You had to
break.
pay our sponsors.
Yeah, we did. We gotta pay the bills.
Is
Y'all
it
keep it out.
like this all the time?
It's like this.
I think I need to come back.
All the
It's
time.
all the time.
Yeah, anytime. It's like this all the time.
He
All
said
the
we
time.
back.
Oh, wow.
We back! Welcome to the thin line between love and
Here we
hate.
go.
Is there a difference between love and hate?
So,
Yes, it is.
have you ever been in a predicament where you just flat out hated somebody?
Yes. It caused me to be incarcerated up in Muncie prison. No.
Oh, wow.
No. I love what, but to me, hate is such a strong word that I can't even venture to think that thought. So to really dislike somebody, now we got personal situations in our lives that you hate what the person is doing and what they may stand for. But as a person, I don't think I particularly hate you. Love to me has been a word that people use too frequently and don't put meaning behind it. When you turn to somebody and say, I love you, it should be, you shouldn't just use that term anytime. People use it.
Right, that's just
Just
going around.
use it.
Yeah.
Alright, my man, nice to talk to you. Alright, homeboy, I love you. Alright, keep your head up. They use it to when people say it so much. You say it to your spouse, I love you. It don't make the chills and your toes curl and the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Because
It don't happen
you're just
anymore.
throwing it out there.
You
It has no
use it.
feeling after
We
time
need to
whatsoever.
put the real meaning of the word love back into love.
Well, love can be misleading. And that's what leads to a lot of these problems. Whatever. Because like I said, you can say to someone, I love you. And people believe it. If you say it with enough depth and passion, you need anybody to believe it.
Right.
But you never know what's going on behind that person's mind.
Yeah,
So-
what's the motive? Why are they telling you, I
Right.
love
And
you?
it's
What are they
usually
trying
to
get?
it's usually to achieve an objective
Right.
or something that they want done or want you to behave a certain way. So I
Absolutely.
love you.
Right.
And that's going to automatically get you to you swoon.
Right.
But when you reach hate, there's no faking in that. That's real.
Right, right.
And when someone hates you, and we're talking about relationships, but hate is widespread.
Right.
We've been in this country for 400, 500 years based off of a hate principle. And that's like, I can't stand the sight of you.
Right, right.
So that when you reach hate, it's so internal, it's something deep going on with you. And my thoughts are, try to stop if you can the whole process of even getting to that hate mentality. And I think if we touched on that a little bit, we know what's going on, but some of the ways we can maybe prevent that. I think the viewers would really be interested in that, because we can analyze and dissect the problem. Definitely, there's a love-hate thing. How do we prevent it? How do we reconcile it?
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people would be interested in knowing.
Well, I think if we stick to relationships, people today don't say what they want. You know what I mean? Say, for instance, when you meet someone, most of the time it's 60% fake out,
Right.
and then the rest of the 40% is the actual you. But you're not giving them that 40%. You're giving them the fake out.
Right.
You have this, that, and the other, trying to build yourself up like you more than what you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of saying, look, this is who I am, this is what I'm looking for. What are you looking for?
Right.
You know what I mean? So then when a person really gets to find out who you are, it's like, wow, this person really lied to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I hate the fact that they lied to me, because they're none of what they told me. And I think people do too much of that when they're going out there and trying to meet someone, because when you're meeting someone, you're actually trying to sell yourself to this person and make that person interested in you. Instead of being straight up, look, I'm just looking for a sexual relationship, or I'm looking to get married, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? People aren't straight up about what it is they're looking for.
So has the value of love been lessened because of the way it's used?
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
Yes,
with
I-
that.
yes.
I agree.
Totally.
Yes.
Yes.
Totally.
Because as a kid, you could remember saying to your mother, I love you, and it meant something.
Right.
Just the use of the term love, they water it down with songs, with raps, with these TV shows.
Right.
There's a line between love and hate, love and basketball, love and hip hop. They use it so loosely that we've taken the real feeling out of that word love and put all the feeling into the word hate. Nowadays it comes to a point, you can be walking down the street and somebody go, I love you, and you just go, and then say, I hate you, and it actually makes you react.
Right. Well, I'm going to go here. I'm sure each and every one of us sitting here can remember that first puppy love or first crush we had with someone. That was a genuine, real feeling. You know what I mean? That you really had for somebody.
Right.
But was it love?
At that time, you were
Yeah.
young.
Thought it was
As far as you knew.
Thought it was
Right,
love.
right, right.
You know?
But was it really love? Because you didn't know what love was. You thought it was love.
But that's the difference. It was so innocent and honest.
Right.
You know what I mean? That it could actually be love, because it's not being sugar coated. You're not, trying to fake the person out. You are who you are at that young, tender age. You know what I mean? And you see someone and you just have that crush on them, and it's a real feeling. You know what I mean? Think about that first love or first puppy love or crush that you had on somebody. That feeling is real.
It's real, but is there a difference between the way a child loves and the way an adult loves?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it starts there, though.
It starts there.
It starts there. And see, when it starts there, whatever course it takes, whatever, determines what you determine as love and the feeling of love. Like Sister was
Right.
saying, whatever, we've watered it down.
So much.
And it has so many different meanings now. It's so convoluted now that, like, okay, yeah, I love you. We say it without thought.
Right.
We say it without no real rhyme or reason.
Right.
Because we use it so dismissively that when you say it, like she said, yeah, what's up? Yeah, I love you, yeah. On and on. There's no thinking behind it anymore.
Right.
And like he's saying, when you're a child, whatever, you're not going off of thinking, you're going off how you feel.
Right.
So the situation is, whatever the situation is going to make you say, I love that person.
So the topic is really not, there's a thin line between love and hate. It's your definition of love and hate and how we measure it. Because it's really a measurement of love and hate. That thin line in relationships, by the time you get to I hate somebody, it's been a buildup of something. There really is no thin line. It is or it's not.
They're coexisting.
Right.
Always.
Is or it is not. Exactly. They coexist in the same relationship at all given times.
Right.
I love you, I hate you. Once by the time you get to hate, the relationship is over.
Yeah.
It's pretty much over. I hate to see your face. I hate to see you come
So not necessarily. I've been in a relationship with my wife for 22 years.
You better get it right because she watching.
She watching, that's right. I've been in a relationship with her for 22 years. I've loved her. I've hated her.
Not now.
No, not now, but we have.
Right.
You know, we've had that roller coaster.
Right.
Where at one point I couldn't stand her sight, and I'm quite sure it was the same way for me.
Right.
However,
how did you overcome that though?
With love.
Love conquers all.
Exactly. You have
True
to
love.
believe in what you have. And as long as you believe in it, then you can make it work.
So what was it like when you hated her?
It was a pleasant place to go to work. And I was working in the prison. So, and there's no love in jail.
So how did you bring that back to love?
Because life is full of roller coaster, is full of them roller coaster hills.
But
you go up, and I hate you at the top, but then
but
things
were
go
things
down.
said and things done in that hate period?
Absolutely.
So how did y'all get back to? I didn't mean to say I hope you go outside and get ran over by a bus.
Time.
Okay.
It takes time.
So it's not a thin line between love and hate. It's some time between love and hate.
That thin line between love and hate is like a wave in the ocean.
Right.
It moves every second. Because you may love a person and they can do this, or they can cheat on you and you'll hate them, but they can do something else and you won't hate them, and it might be just as bad as them cheating, but you didn't hate them for it. So that line moves and is different upon the interpretation of the person who's feeling it.
So it's basically we down to it's an interpretation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because the way what I think about what love is may be different from each one of you.
Right.
What you think of love is. But I think the word hate is universal, and I think we can all agree on,
Right.
you know, a person to go to no length when they hate you.
Right.
You know, it's nothing that's too far when they hate you. If I hate you, I'm gonna do any and everything I can to get to you.
So we'll propose this question to our viewers out here, our listeners. You see it going across the bottom of the screen, the telephone number, our email address. Some of y'all hit us up. Tell us what you think that your concept is a thin line between love and hate. Is it really a thin line between love and hate? To me, it doesn't exist anymore. There's some progression of steps to get there. Mr. Lane just explained how you get from love and hate. He was in a relationship with his wife. He loved her at one point, and at one time didn't love her, but they've been together quite amount of years. You see what I'm saying? So when we think of thin line between love and hate, I always thought that was a movie. You get your kid does something bad, you love him that morning. He goes to school, he gets suspended for some craziness. You beat him, you don't hate him. You hate what he did, but you don't hate him.
Right.
So that I just think that the concept of thin line between love and hate it's just some words people like to say.
Yeah, I disagree. I think it's a feeling, because I know I've been in a place where sometimes you get off from work and you're dead tired, you just want to go home and crash. And I've actually pulled up in front of my house and like, you know what, I ain't even ready to go in there, I'm going to keep driving.
Right.
And I keep on driving for another half an hour, so pull back up and be like, I still ain't ready to go in there. You know what I'm saying? So that's hatred that I feel for not even wanting to go into the house, lay down and get rest, because I just don't want to be bothered with you.
Right.
You know, so that hate is there. You know what I mean? Hate will make you, like you said, do crazy things. I've thrown clothes in the bathtub and set them on fire. Like, okay, you ain't wearing what I bought you. I'm burning it up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I burnt it up.
And did you have to go back and replace it when the relationship, like Mr. Lynch said? Ladies, he is not replacing your burnt up clothes. Stop letting that man buy you clothes.
That's why they knew the last time we got into an argument, every piece of Coach stuff I bought them, they hid.
He burnt up some Coach. Next time you want to burn up some Coach, can you please call sister? Dial my number. I don't care if her shoe size is a 12 and I'm only a 7. I'm going to be walking around with some 7 love and hate Coach sneakers. You burning Coach in people's tubs? And then he going to say it wasn't even his tub. You burning her Coach that you bought at her tub.
Coach that I bought.
You wrong.
Whatever.
He wrong.
It was hate.
Let the viewers speak.
It was hate.
I hear y'all. Speak on. Man, wrong. Now you done made the viewers upset.
I'm just keeping it real. I told you I would always do that.
You
I
kept
did
it real.
I did it.
Burnt up clothes. Thin line. Now that right there, my friend, is a perfect example of a thin line between love and hate. I loved him all day till I came home and see my clothes burning in the tub. Now I hate this man.
Well, let me ask this. Melissa, get a quiet one. Or so it seems.
So it seems.
What is your definition of love?
That's a tough question.
Wow.
It really is for me. It's
Okay.
hard.
Elaborate.
Is it?
Yeah, I
What?
mean, to define it.
Okay, but see,
Give us a
there's
visual
no
picture of love for you.
definition of love.
Right.
Because love is what you feel. So, tell us what you feel about love.
What does love look like to you? Draw the picture.
And not the man behind the camera.
He said, cut. Okay, we about to find out. Mimi, get ready to speak.
What does hate mean to you?
I don't really have a definition for that either.
What does it look like?
It's just a feeling to me. I can't define it.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Now, I'm just going to, because I'm curious now. Because as a black man, I know what hate looked like in our community. Mm-hmm. However, what does hate look like in your eyes? Because I've seen some white women do some crazy stuff. And I've seen some white men do some crazy stuff. That we think, what the hell? Oh, they going to jail. See, she might hate me and burn my clothes. Or Tony might hate his woman and just burn the house down.
Coach.
Yeah, he burned the Coach. But now, is it different when you look at hate?
I don't think so.
You don't think
We're
so?
all people.
So you think
love doesn't have a color. Hate doesn't have a color.
No. Well, I mean, when you say hate doesn't have a color, there always, you can bring up the racism, of course, that has to do with color, and that's hate. But, I mean, if you're speaking of just like in relationships, I don't see that there's a difference.
So love to you looks like what? Love for you could be day in the park with all my family and my kids.
And not Cupid, little naked boy with a
little naked
bow and
boy.
arrow.
Little white nigga boy is going out. So to you, a day of love looks like what?
My wedding day.
Okay. That was love, huh?
Well,
I ain't
it
never
will be.
been there.
I haven't yet, but I
Okay.
can imagine.
Oh, you finna get married, huh? Okay. So now we know what love look like to everybody. Even Mimi over there done told us what love look like. So we've had a great time with our panel today.
Yeah,
We talked about a little thin line between love and hate. Our viewers call in again. Hit us up. Today was a day. We have had fun. Again, we want to thank our special guests. We just blessed to be here to see another day. Talk about thin line between love and hate. Right now, we get ready to take it to a commercial break. We got to pay these bills.
Are we going to a commercial this time?
Commercial.
Okay. We'll be back.
Open conversation.
Door Photography company that offers modeling, weddings, family portraits, and much more. Indoors, outdoors, in the studio, or we'll come out to you. Just give us a call.
Look at yourself. You're breaking
we're back.
Said it again.
So
You went somewhere.
I
Just through the magic of TV, Mr. Lane, we just appeared and reappeared. We are back. We ain't moved from this here spot talking about love and hate.
absolutely. However, we had to go pay some bills, so
And that we did.
the line was long,
And we're back.
and we back.
Welcome to Open Conversation.
Now I need to go back to Melissa.
Yes.
You know, because Melissa, she quiet over there, and usually them crazy women.
You're not the quiet ones.
So now, Melissa, tell me
Here we
this.
go.
Wow.
What is the most hateful thing you did when you love somebody?
Wow.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to throw that to the whole panel.
Now, let me just say this. Let me throw out my disclosure there. For all intents and purposes, this conversation is being recorded. Yeah, I'm being watching.
Yes. Put the disclaimer.
Please use your alias at this point.
I've never really done anything too hateful. I would have to say hitting somebody. It's probably the worst thing I've done.
You didn't cut the pockets, the bottom part of his pocket out, so when he went to put his money in his pocket, it all fell the hell out, and it was on your floor, and you picked it up, and he had no.
I'll remember that next time.
All right, did that?
So slap him real good.
We do not condone
I know.
cutting the pocket holes in men pants. We just put it out there.
Just in case.
Just in case you want to do this at home, viewers. Come on, man, I get half.
So is it safe to say that you're not a person that harbors hateful feelings?
No, I absolutely do.
She said, no, I absolutely do. Okay. To her husband, she coming home tonight.
Yeah.
You might want to think about
Look out.
whatever happened in the last month. She finna fix it. You understand me?
Look
She
out.
said, yes, absolutely not.
Yes. She harbors.
She harbors.
But she's feeling that way
Hey, it
while
happens.
but she's feeling that way while she's, loving the person or with the
Right.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I can hate something, that someone does or the way they act. Could be anything. I use hate a lot, to be honest with you. I do. And everybody says it's such a strong word.
So it's not.
I don't like you does not get my point across.
Ooh.
Oh,
She
Jesus.
said, I do not like
I mean,
you does not get my point
It
across.
doesn't.
So you would say it
It
now. How would you say?
I hate you right now.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Coming straight from Mimi.
Right now.
Right
I mean,
now.
at that point in
At
time.
that point.
I
See,
could be feeling
black
hate.
people, we just say, I hate you.
What?
She said, I hate you right now.
You can still love somebody.
It means something right now.
No, I do.
Mimi said.
I like that. Yeah, you can.
So you can hate the person for the moment.
Yeah. I
So you
believe
have a
that.
forgiving heart.
I guess you could say that.
Because you can hate him today,
Well, I mean.
and he get the broad and area, get that teddy bear, and you
Hey,
love him.
no.
That's what I'm talking about.
What's the most hateful thing you did? Because he burning clothes. She hating people now. What have you done
I don't hate.
that made that see that thin line between love and hate? This is another disclaimer, folks.
This conversation is being recorded and maybe watched by the
But you
FBI.
have a right to remain silent. Anything
And my
you say,
wife.
you can, and your wife. That's the one. What have you done?
I don't have hateful feelings in my
Oh,
body.
what have you done
That's hateful?
that was hateful?
I wouldn't say it's so much as hateful. I may do things that's spiteful.
Okay, what have you spite, love, thin line between done?
Well, I'm not sure. I can't recall my.
He can't recall. Okay, OJ. He can't recall.
Basically, he doesn't want to say.
Oh, okay, Pastor.
What have you done?
Creflo Dollar. Don't he look like the minister? It's Sunday. Don't he? What's that name of that pastor? Don't he look like it? Don't he look like Creflo? Oh, that. All right, Creflo, what have you done? Don't make
I
it sound
burnt
like
up clothes.
That's it.
Hey, what have you done?
I ain't never done the typical black woman, key the car, do all that kind of stuff. But I have taken and put shaving cream in his gators.
Ooh,
Wow. Filled it up with shaving cream. I have put cement in brand new Jordans.
really?
Yeah, you know the ready mix, just add water.
Yeah.
What them Jones was heavy. Heavy mama. Okay.
Wow.
Was his feet in them?
I hope not. disclaimer show. Let's see what look. We got guests here. We open the floor to everybody. What have you done that was so thin line between love and hate, hateful? That there's a disclaimer on this segment of the show.
My wife is watching also.
Okay.
I betrayed someone's trust. And
Black stuff.
this person really.
You know what you could have did? Took the backs to all her earrings. You never know.
That is so minor.
But
That's minor.
Yeah.
you don't know how important a back to an earring is until you can't find one.
It's like
You be
$5.
looking, but you won't have them. You go in the house and go in your jewelry box right now, pick up all your earrings, and ain't no backs to them. You mad?
No.
I'm mad.
We gotta reel her back in.
I think so.
Burn up all the panties and bras.
He's burning shit. Oh my God. This topic is just.
He has a thing with fire.
He got a thing with fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fire starter on. If you know of some help, the number is going across the bottom of the
Make
screen.
him go shop.
Make him go shop.
Make him go shop.
He said, make you go shop with your money.
No, not with my money.
Then she gonna put a hole in your pocket. Fall out. She know your PIN number. Creflo Dollar. That look like Creflo Dollar.
You say cut the pockets.
Cut the pockets. So when he go, you know men don't dig down deep, they just drop the money in their pocket and it just drop right back on the floor. You be like, baller. Got this man holding out.
Oh man, you've done that.
Wow.
We done that. Yeah, we
Wow.
done that. Put cement in them new drawers. He
Yeah,
mad because all he can
right.
do is look at it.
Look at it.
It ain't right. Yeah, it ain't right. I don't know why we do this stuff. This is why we having an open conversation. These are the conversations that we just have. This is the things we think about. We thought about taking cement and putting it in a man's speaker. And it was formed just like his foot was.
Was that not
He
a
thought he
hateful
had it was no.
That wasn't a hateful act.
No.
What was it?
I was mad.
Crime of passion.
That was a crime of crime.
Crime of passion.
Wasn't no passion behind that.
That took some thought.
Ready-made cement, baby.
It took some
Keep
thought.
it with you, ladies, at your house at all times.
Did they not take
Just
some
add
thought?
water.
Yeah.
Them brand new Timberland boots he got, add water. Add water.
Wow.
Did they not take some thought?
Add water. Look at Creflo Dollar over there. Add water.
Oh man.
He
was mad.
He was mad, Creflo.
He was.
Creflo.
Did you replace him?
No side, no side. Put it in his jean pocket, boo. His favorite jeans. Ready-made cement.
Cement in his jeans.
Cement in his jeans, boo-boo.
Oh God.
Putty, spackle, whatever. Home Depot ladies, stay at Lowe's, learn some stuff. Use some Gorilla Glue.
Now you're gonna hear more stories about this.
Gorilla Glue,
All
honey.
because of you.
Gorilla Glue. Put the bottom of both of his shoes together and Gorilla Glue his shoes together, boo. You gonna see a man walking with an animal. Gorilla Glue this man's shoes together. Lord, right there, Gorilla Glue, baby. Stay up at Home Depot. Everybody in that Home Depot is not trying to fix stuff.
Lack of sleep.
Yeah.
It's probably a lack of sleep. I ain't been sleeping 4 days, people. We are after open conversation. I'm tired. I'm just gluing people's shoes together, cutting pockets off. Lord help us. Just don't. Just don't. Don't do nothing. We not responsible for the stuff. We responsible for us.
Yeah.
Not
What
what
we
you
do,
be,
not
what
what you do.
You do stuff that we don't even know about.
Can we give a disclosure on this?
Yes, give a disclosure. Do something. Disclaim us.
Please be advised that the opinions of Dark Child is not the opinions of the show.
That's it.
And that anything that she says,
Can and will be held accountable for what I just said. Now, Gorilla Glue.
an open
Not
conversation
Super Glue.
will not be
Now,
replaced.
somebody
Replacing your Jordans or your pockets in
You
your
know, you
pants.
playing around with the guy, getting him all wrapped up and
Super glue is
that-
man life to his leg.
right to his leg.
How you? We is talking. That's a thin line. Right
That's
there.
hateful.
That,
Yeah.
That's hateful. That,
He had to go to the hospital and get that.
yeah, it'll wear off after a while. Cause
Really?
super glue he'd have to stay in a tub for a long time. Unstick his body with stuff to himself. That's a thin line. All right, we gonna talk dummy things that people do. Because this hate is just taking us to some place that the police for they coming on our studio right now, lock us all up. We won't even have no next open conversation we'll have is in a court of law in front of a judge. We're not trying to go to jail today.
What have you done that was loving?
Let's see, nothing.
Nothing.
I'm still
You
gluing
still
niggas'
stuck on
shoes. Okay.
Jeez, what about you, Mr. Wayne?
I had a surprise wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
How you gonna have a surprise wedding? Was she surprised and said no?
Well,
You'd have been surprised, wouldn't you?
yes, indeed.
Okay.
But it was an anniversary celebration
Okay.
that we were having. She knew about the anniversary celebration. However, she didn't know that it was a surprise wedding that was being planned as well. So I put both parties together,
Okay.
and during the anniversary party, we was sitting in front of everybody just talking, and lo and behold, I proposed to her again
Again.
with new rings.
Nice.
Had a minister that was there
Creflo Dollar over there.
that stood up in front of everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and when the music came on, the wedding party marched in, lined up, everybody knew what their
Nice.
places were,
Nice.
and we had a wedding ceremony right then and there.
Nice.
That was the most loving thing I do. That you ain't gonna get that every year.
What about you, Mr. Yusuf? Have you?
Wow. I don't know, I gotta say, just marrying the love of my life.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, he only saying that because
She watching. She watching. He tried to get some nookie tonight. He is watching. She is watching. He better say the right things. He all on TV. Look at his shape up and everything. Better say something. Say something right. You see, she watching.
what about you, Melissa?
I don't know. I don't know.
Still going.
Love would be given
Yeah.
birth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I thought we were talking about relationships, but yeah. I mean,
That's the most loving thing he done for you, man. Was if he said, "Honey, I'd like to have a child with you," and you 9 months later it was there. That's love.
yeah, it was just there, just like that.
Okay.
Easiest thing ever. Yeah.
No.
Was it really?
What?
It didn't hurt.
I don't want to talk about that.
That's Mimi for you. You understand? Mimi just shut us down. Shut us down. I ain't did nothing. I don't even love this nigga. I don't even know why. I don't know why. I'm gonna glue his shoes together and go shop. Can you imagine him going to pick his shoe up in the dark and both of them come at the same time? Got to explain to work why he walking with his feet like that. Because he can't get his shoes from being unstuck. Okay. Creflo, what about you? Creflo Dollar. What about you?
What I did was, my girl was coming back home from a trip, so what I did is I took and lined candles off the steps with rose petals.
Okay.
And in the bedroom was a gift.
He had something with fire. Yeah, the gift was the tub on fire. This man got a problem with fire. He ain't got a problem with fire, people. He lining candles up to the bathtub to show her coach stuff. And the tub burning. He is burning. Can you imagine when she walked in the house? She saw all those candles with rose petals. Took her right to the bathroom. All the Coach bags.
Here we go again.
All Coach bags is in there burning. Woo! Open conversation. Alright, y'all, we're gonna go to the commercial because this man is we're going to a commercial. We'll be right back. We have to pay some bills.
Open conversation.
Sadior photography company that offers modeling, weddings, family portraits, and much more. Indoors, outdoors, in the studio, or we'll come out to you. Just give us a call.
Look at yourself. You're breaking down.
guys. Once again, open conversation, talking about a thin line between love and hate. We've had some fun here today. It's been a real funny segment, so we want to wrap this thing up with final comments. We'll throw it to our guest, Mr. Youssef.
Well, again, thank you for having me here today. I've enjoyed myself tremendously. I just think when you're dealing with love and hate, you know, if you can prevent that from getting to that part where you actually hate someone, I think that's where the real lesson is. You know what I mean? So communicate with the person that you're with. Understand the person that you're with. Be open to, you know, different ideas and different viewpoints. And I think if you respect the person, whether it's in a relationship or whatever the case may be, I think your outcome is going to be better. And you're going to minimize the chance of someone actually hating you and growing to hate you, and maximize your chance for finding true love.
Gotcha.
And again, tell us where they can reach you. Tell them where they can get your products. Or
Yeah, just check us out at jadenpictures.com. You know, you're going to see all the stuff that we're working on, the plays, the books, the little short movies, the animation. Just come check us out.
And what's the name of the site again? Can you spell it out for our viewers so that they can really get it? Because we don't want to lose no views.
Right, sure. Jalen Pictures, JALYN Pictures.com. And you can also reach me at Nightfall Records. That's NITEPHALL records@gmail.com.
Okay, cool. Melissa, you have any final thoughts?
I'm good. I don't think I have anything to add.
Okay. Mr. Knight?
Well, just to touch on love one more time, there's no boundaries. When you really love somebody, there's no boundaries, no limits of what you'll do to go to show that person you love them. Just try to stay away from that hate line, because everybody hate line is different. Now, love has no end, but hate ends in one way: somebody getting hurt.
Well, like she said, there is a thin line between love and hate. We try to keep on the positive side of things. So I just think the term is just used so loosely that we don't sometimes just look at it. I don't think there's a thin line between love and hate. I think there are progression steps that take you before you get to the hate part. You'll dislike somebody, you'll not care for them, you might not want to speak to them, but unless they do something that's life-changing and altering at that moment, it's hate. It's love. It's going to be love. You can't turn it on and off. It's not a light switch. It takes a while, and even when you turn on the lights, it's still, you may not see it, but it's still that progression of time that it takes until that light actually illuminates. So there is time between, to me, there's no such thing as a thin line between love and hate. You either love them or you hate them. But I love you when you go into Neiman Marcus and buy me something. I hate you when you're going into Conway and trying to buy me something out of Conway. All right? Creflo Dollar.
Gotcha. There's definitely a thin line between love and hate. When I love you, I'm all in. When I hate you, best know there's going to be fire somewhere involved. I'm only joking.
Be serious, y'all. And we trying to do this segment and we trying to be serious. You see how he keep opening the floodgates? I swear he said fire again, people. Just to know, we in the studio and there's no fire in here. None of us even smoke. This man got a book of matches in his pocket. Why is he setting things on fire? He's not allowed to use the studio bathroom unescorted. This is crazy.
This has been another segment of Open Conversation. Signing off. Peace.
Open conversation.